This episode is brought to you by Remax Dynasty real estate broker Vito Gentile. Give yourself peace of mind by entrusting your home sale or purchase to Vito. Recognized by his peers for his highly effective integrity and dedication, Vito has succeeded in serving a large and loyal clientele that continues to grow. He is the solution to all your real estate transactions. Mr. David Dukakis, the municipal councillor for the District of St. Bruno since 2013, David understands his important role as a competent and honest administrator. In addition to his mandate as a municipal councillor for the District of St. Bruno, he held key positions on the Executive Committee as Vice President of the Executive Committee and Deputy Mayor. David chaired the Board of Directors of Société de Transport de Laval, or STL. David also wants St. Bruno to remain a vibrant community with a strong community attachment serving its citizens. Now, back to our latest episode. Good evening, and welcome to Let's Talk It Out. I am really excited about this episode because our guest this evening is someone who I followed, I listened to, I studied, I admire. She is professional. She is highly artistic and talented in the fields of television, radio. She's definitely somebody everybody should recognize. I was very excited when I came across her, and so far, at this very moment, I'm really excited. So I'm just going to let you all know who she is. So as I preempted, she did various works in television, extensive works in radio, CJAD. You did numerous shows. You did Showtime on CJAD, the Chris Robinson Travel Show on radio, and I will have her speak and express more openly as to all the works that she has done, actress as well, voiceover as well, and I have the pleasure to introduce Sharman Yarnell.
Well, thank
Welcome.
you. My goodness, I hope I can live up to that.
Welcome.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And I'm so happy to see you, finally to meet you, see the person behind that amazing voice on the radio.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
We hear the voice all the time,
you.
and then it's like, well, I wonder. And then, you get a good feel for people on the radio, right? Because they talk, and you hear them in their we hear you in your natural state, but it's always work.
Yeah.
But now, we had a conversation for like half an hour, let's say, before we started the podcast. And it's in person even nicer,
I hope so. It would be awful to meet up with somebody after and not be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what really is pleasurable for me is I'll be like in a cab. I was coming here tonight in a cab, and the driver had Showman. And I said, well, I used to work for Bell Media. And he pulled the car and he said, you're Sharman. You're Sharman Yarnell. He said, I thought I recognized the voice.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Before we actually get into Lisa, let's go to our sponsors.
So I'd like to take a moment to thank our amazing sponsors, because without them, can't really do much.
We love them.
We love them.
Love them.
So actually the first sponsor is a new sponsor, Prima Goccia. And Prima Goccia, they are opening a location in Laval. And they are, and I will say it in French because actually they have it written in French. So, importation de produits d'Italie, so imported Italian products. Café en vrac, so they sell coffee.
In bulk.
In bulk, thank you.
Uh-huh.
They sell and they repair coffee machines. They have cookies, they have cakes, they have gift baskets also. So they have everything that you need, and they are located at 4050 Boulevard Le Corbusier in Laval, 438-444-2244, and primagotchalaval@hotmail.com. So the owner is Jerry Pinelli, and he does have a partner, and his partner's name is Bruna Nini. So thank you so much for Prima Goccia for sponsoring.
Amazing
That
coffee,
is
too.
amazing. Oh my
Amazing
God.
coffee.
Definitely going for a coffee because they're
Absolutely.
definitely in the area. So I'm going. The second sponsor that we have is also a new sponsor. And we thank you so very much. It's actually a traiteur, a caterer. And this caterer is called Jacu Traiteur. And Jaco Traiteur, he offers an exceptional service, authentic recipes, very conscious and responsible of ecological footprint. So his strength is to provide a culinary experience, especially an exceptional one. And he combines French culinary techniques with Caribbean and Afro influence and creativity. So he brings you kind of, new fun experiences to the table. So this is definitely something I think anybody should try. I mean, it sounds completely delicious, very creative, and very unique. So the owner is Jarrell Kerbel. He is the owner and the head chef, 514-809-8146. And the email is jacoutraiteur@gmail.com, www.jacoutraiteur.com. So thank you so much. Another new sponsor. And now we have something very interesting for everybody out there. So everybody better watch our podcast because we will have a contest of sorts. And this contest is basically in collaboration with Taralli d'Amore, who also sponsored us again this time around. So thank you so much, Nicolangelo D'Amore. So just to give you a little bit of an insight on the sponsor, you can reach them at 514-586-2987, www.tarallidamore.com, www.tarallidamore.com.
Who wants Tarallis?
Me!
Who wants Tarallis?
So if you don't go to 3357 Rue Mont-Soleil in Montreal North, we have a contest.
Yep.
So basically, it's whoever watches our podcast, you just enter on our Facebook link or on your YouTube or on our Instagram where we have the thumbnail of
Comment
the next
section. In the comment section. Anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere.
You have to write Taralli d'Amore with your full name.
Anything, let's talk it out. Whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, go on the comment section, write a comment, just write Taralli d'Amore.
That's right.
And then put your name next to it. We are going to
have a draw.
We're going to pick a name. We're going to reach out to you. If you win it, you can either come and pick it up here at our Luscious Studios or we'll bring it to you. We're going to bring you a nice bag of fresh Italian tarallis that are delicious with coffee.
It is so scrumptious and good. So thank you so much, Taralli d'Amore. Everybody else, you guys have to watch. So thank you so, so much. I have so many questions to ask you based on the fact that now you're actually here. So my first question is, who is Sharman Yarnell?
When I find her, I'll let you know.
But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sharman loves travel. Chris Robinson Travel Show. God love him. He just, and my sister, who was an airline hostess, brought me into travel at a very early age. I'd been to, by the age of about 8, I'd been to most countries in Europe, a lot of countries in Europe, all over the United States, all thanks to her. She'd sit me in the back of the plane during the summer on my holidays, and and I traveled all over. Theater. Theater's been a part of my life ever since I can remember. I love theater. Who was Sharman Yarnell? I love to read. I love music. Can you guess what what genre I like?
Broadway.
I'm just a Broadway baby. Yeah.
We got it.
Got it.
That's great. I love Broadway too. How
often do you get there?
Oof. Not often. I think the last one, now I'm talking full-fledged musical. I think the last one that I saw was Phantom of the Opera. And I actually brought my daughter the first time. Yeah. And I was lucky enough to get the double D center row where you see the sweat pouring down and we were right under the chandelier.
Oh, there's nothing like, but the West End is wonderful too. It's interesting though, the West End doesn't have the high blood pressure that Broadway has, and beyond musicals, I also like drama. I love plays. Yeah. It's theater. I just love theater.
Really? I find it's more difficult than actual television or film. Television and film you can cut and you can retake a scene. Theater you can't.
And you're playing the same role. Well, the wonderful thing about theater is you're playing that same role over and over, and you can every night you find something. You should be able to find something different in the character that you're playing. And by the end of the run, you know this character very, very well. You should know him pretty well when you go into it, but by the end of it, it's like peeling the skin off an onion.
Yeah.
Every night you take a little bit more skin off the onion, and then when you get to the end, to that little nub in the end, that's the precious part of the character.
That's the what do they call it?
It's the hot nub.
It's exactly.
It's the hot nub.
In music, we call it the money note, the money shot,
this is
right?
the hot nub.
This is the hot. I like yours better. I like Sharman's better. So, how did your early life shape your aspiration or your career choices?
When you mean early life, as a child?
I would say, as a child.
Okay. Well, I grew up with a single mom. She brought 3 of us up. She was a phenomenal woman. And I had an older brother and sister who were always bringing me books to read. And again, it was my sister that introduced me to theater. She took me to see The Big Bad Wolf, and Joel Rishpan played the Big Bad Wolf. And I remember I was 4 years old, and I was so terrified I was underneath the seat. He made a big mistake, actually, because my sister knew him, and we went backstage to meet him afterwards. And he came out, and I was hiding behind her, and he came out with his head under his arm, and that just terrified me all the more. So that was my introduction to theater, I guess. And my brother was the music part of it. Introduced me to reading too. He'd bring books to me. So that was my mother was a working mother, and the very first theater thing that I played was The Discontented Fir Tree. At Woodland School in Verdun, The Discontented Fir Tree.
Wow.
And that did it. I was, and I was a member of the choir. I loved to sing.
You got the bug, right?
I got the bug. I got the bug.
That stage bug.
And I used to go to the Evans sisters for dance.
Oh, my God.
People I loved it.
Oh, nice. Do you recall any specific event or moment that led you to sort of, pursue the path that you chose, that you were...
Okay, the one thing that I think is interesting, from a very early age, I decided I didn't want to do just one thing. I did not want to do one thing. I knew what I loved, and I wanted to do different things based on those things. So I got involved in travel, heavily involved in travel. I got involved in theater. I love radio. What I love in radio, though, is the radio drama. And we don't do it anymore.
Okay.
We don't. And I love voice work. Creating a character without using your body, just using the voice.
Super hard.
That's very hard.
And so I decided I was going to do every single one of those things. And I have to a certain degree.
How difficult was the voiceover work?
Well, there's different kinds of voiceover work. Dubbing can be. Have you ever dubbed?
No, I haven't dubbed. No.
Dubbing involves following a rhythm strip and getting the character and saying the word when the word hits. It can be very, very difficult. The rest of it, though, getting a character, that either it comes naturally to you, I think, or it doesn't.
Yeah. I agree.
So what type of acting would you incorporate into your characters? How would you immerse yourself in a role or a character or a voice?
Well, the character's a little, if you've just got a character and you don't know very much about her, you make up something about her so that you've got to focus.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. But if you're doing Tennessee Williams or something like that, you know pretty well what those characters are that you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
So, if you play, you don't want to go out and get beaten up because you're playing a role where someone gets beaten up. You've got to use your common sense. Maybe talk to people. Talk to women who've been in an abusive situation, and that's doing your research. Always do your research. Talk to people who run homes for women like this, And I think that's very important, because for somebody to go on stage and really not understand the psychology behind something like this is...
You see, the audience will see right through it. And, and it'll never catch.
No.
You know.
Yeah. But is there ever a part of you that you shared in any of your characters or any of your roles?
And, you know, I think all of us have been... We'll go back to the abuse. I did not have an abusive man in my life. I had the most amazing man. But, you know, you go back to abuse. We've all been abused in some way along our path, some little way. You can fall back on how you felt at that time. You know, what maybe it made you do. Did it make you withdraw? Did it make you angry? And that's, you know, you apply things like that to roles. We all have everything in us. We have hurt, we have suffering, we have pain, we have joy, and I would say that any character that I play, I would prefer they didn't have anything that I had not felt, but I have felt them. Everyone has felt that. So this is what you draw on. Go back to your life, and if you can't snag on something, you go out there and find it.
That's interesting that you say that. Now, what types of roles and who did you have the privilege to work with?
Do we have all night?
We're learning about you.
Yeah, well, I've done voice work with Donald Sutherland. I should have written them down, you know. Donald Sutherland is more than that.
Oh my goodness.
Donald Sutherland, John Candy. John Candy was wonderful. I was asked with the Young Stratford Company of Canada. I was asked to be part of the very first Governor General Awards, and they did a selection from Hamlet, and I was asked to play Gertrude in that. And John Candy, I didn't work with him, but I met him during that time, and he was just one of the nicest human beings you'd ever want to meet. Olympia Dukakis. Yeah, I've worked with a number of... Wow. I've been very lucky. Yeah. I really have.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Donald Sutherland. That's a name. Like that's, you know.
He's a name.
Yeah, he's definitely a name. Or many names.
He's a name. Yeah.
He's definitely there. But his son Kiefer is quite good too, from the shows that I see.
Kiefer, yeah. I've not met Kiefer, but I'd love to meet Kiefer. I'd have something to tell him.
24 was pretty good.
It was.
I enjoyed
it. When that show came out, that was revolutionary.
It was one of the first of kind of this generation. I found of this generation of edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like no fillers. Yeah. It's one after the other.
That 24, he did a follow-up one too, didn't he?
But the
24 was the one that
he did Designated Survivor, which is a different.
Yeah.
It was a little different.
Yeah.
Same vibe, but.
Yeah. He's very good. He has that charisma. There's a charisma about him.
Did you ever see him on Corner Gas?
I heard he was on it.
It was very. It's just a scene where he's sitting in his. What the heck is he doing? He's sitting behind. He's at his mother's, Shirley Douglas.
Yes. And
sitting behind her desk, and he has a little bit of a temper tantrum. I can't remember. Somebody went in the room, and he said, "Can't you knock before?" I can't remember what the whole thing was about, but you know, it was kind of nice to see him out of that other Kiefer Sutherland shell.
Yeah. Oh my! But he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites, and he happens to be Canadian, which is fantastic. Did you ever have a mentor or someone who influenced you from the very beginning, let's say, to pursue the career that you chose?
My husband, my careers. My husband, Walter Massey. Yeah.
Really? Can you share?
Oh, he was a Canadian actor, and I know most people watching this will know him. He did numerous plays at Centaur, The Seagull, Lassie, the TV series. He played Doc Stewart. He was an incredible human being, and he is a mentor to a lot of young then, who are now doing very well in the business. He used to go, and they used to have him go into schools, and he'd have a room full of students, and this is very true. and he'd say, how many want to go into acting? And they'd all put their hands up. And he would go into life as an actor. He studied in New York. He was in the very first Joseph Papp Shakespeare in the Park.
Oh, nice.
He played Brutus and Julius Caesar. And he studied with Sanford Meisner, Harold Clurman, so he knew his stuff. So he's with these students. They all want to be actors, and then he talks about training and hitting the pavement. And do you know that all actors are out of work 95, I think, percent of the time.
Yeah.
And by the time he was finished, at the end of it, he'd say, now who wants to be an actor? And 5 or 6 had put their hands up.
Really?
And he said, well, you're the ones who should go after it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We really don't know what's involved.
No.
You know, I think that we're sort of mired into that whole glitz and glamour, but you don't really harness on the craft and the work that's put into it.
And it really is hard work, and God help those people who go out there and really study. I have a friend who's used to do repertory in England. She's a fabulous actress, Emma Stevens. She's an incredible actress. And to be honest with you, when you hear people, and I've heard people say this to me, Sharman, how do I get started? I don't want to do this, and I'm not good at that, and that hasn't worked out for me. I know I can act, I can't do anything else, so I think I'll act. That's not the way to get into acting. You have to have it here and train.
Yeah.
Train.
Yeah.
Training is hard, but if it's a passion, it's not training anymore.
It's also expensive.
Yes.
Depending on where you go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's always do you have I mean, you do so many different things. You are extremely artistic, and it's fantastic to see. Like, I love it. It's amazing. Do you have, I don't want to say a preference, because obviously you do everything you do because you enjoy it. But is there one of the careers that you say, well, if I ever had to pick one?
Oh, I'm not going there. I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. Is that I
because
don't know.
every time I focus on one and I do a lot of one, I miss the other. So I have to have them all going. I really do.
I totally
that's what
understand that.
Decided I wanted to do. I did not want to. I didn't want to be trained to be a teacher and be a teacher all my life and get a good pension or a decent pension. Bad pay, but decent pay.
Exactly.
This is what I wanted to do. And I don't think I could ever focus on anything.
I'm exactly the same way, and that's why I'm asking. I wouldn't be able to answer it.
Yeah.
But then I also have a part of me that says, there's I like to do so many things that missing one just because my knowledge wants to be, I don't know.
I guess the two. Look, I didn't pick two. It will be travel. I do a lot of travel, and I'm so lucky. I do a lot of travel. I'm a tour director.
Oh wow!
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
and theater. Theater is my number one love, and travel. The two of them together are the two things that I love most.
Wow.
That's
okay.
amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Well, they work in hand as well, right? When you speak freely.
Travel is
No, but I'm saying in terms of being a guide, right?
Yeah.
You have that.
Yeah, it's not a guide. Tour director. I manage a tour.
You manage
a tour.
So to be as a tour director, it's linked because you are an entertaining, quote unquote.
I'm entertaining, all right.
a group, right? You're making it interesting.
I've been told to cool it sometimes. So.
Really? I'd be like, stifle it. Let her talk.
Is there a place that hit you hard, like that you visited or that you've traveled to, that speaks to you?
Impacted you.
Yeah,
oh
that
my
impacted
gosh.
you.
I love New York.
See?
Yeah.
I love New York, so near me. New York and Ireland. Ireland is what an Irish passport. My mother was Irish, grew up there, so Ireland is an absolutely incredible place. And Morocco. Have you ever?
My mom's been.
Well, everybody should go. And I love Tunisia. I prefer it to Morocco because Tunisia isn't as commercial as Morocco.
Okay.
And I think everybody should visit a safe. See, I was in Tunisia just before the terrorism broke out there, so I want to be careful with what I say. But to me, people, Muslims, the way they live and the way they are, they're not all of what you hear
Of course.
on the news. And they're wonderful people, and they've got children to bring up, and so
Absolutely.
it's great for anybody to go to some of these countries and see that and meet
To get
them,
that perspective.
To get that
Absolutely.
perspective of them, it's
Absolutely.
very important, I think.
It is very
Yeah.
important.
So
Absolutely.
Tunisia has a huge part of my heart too.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
I want to travel on that.
I love traveling. Yeah.
It's in bucket list. Sharman, what motivates you to do the work that you do? What is your strongest motivation?
Well, if I didn't do it, I'd just be sitting there doing nothing.
True.
Like 3/4 of the planet.
I love people too. I like people. I
Yeah.
really enjoy meeting people, and I get that. You get it in theater, you get it in the entertainment world, and you get it in travel.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a motivation, meeting new people.
I love it. I love it. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
To network and just to meet new people
Yeah.
is amazing.
Well, speaking of, you do have a website that you created.
Yes.
Yeah, with Esteban Vargas and I. It's called Curtains Up, theater based, music.
Okay.
Based.
Amazing.
And you get it on Facebook, CU. We just call it for short, CU. And that's been up for about 8 or 9 years now, and
So
it's doing very
a
well.
Facebook
Facebook and on a web page as well.
webpage.
Yeah,
And it's cu.com.
Well, we're about to change it, so
Oh, okay,
change the name.
okay,
That's why I'm
okay.
not giving you. Yeah, if you go Curtains Up on Facebook, and we'll put the new website, the new web name up on there when it's changed.
Okay,
We're working on
perfect.
that right now.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
amazing.
But it covers theater. We've got some reviewers, some theater reviewers, some wonderful theater reviewers, Yolande Ramsey and Tina Wayland, and they go into the Seagull and the Centaur, and they've just done the Wildside Festival. We do
Okay.
all of that, but I want someone to do music.
Oh, I'm yes, actually, it's yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? It's something I've never written. I don't want to say I'm not a big writer, but I'm a big music lover. So
Well, take
Yes.
a look at some of the reviews that other people
Yeah.
write, and
absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm. You know what? Like I was saying before, if you train, like if you enjoy what you do, it's not really training. So I was never a big writer.
yeah.
But I love music so much that I can.
I love
I
writing.
can
Oh,
write
that's
now. All of a
amazing.
sudden, if
I
I'm
love
writing
it.
about
Yeah.
music, it's not. I'm cool. But I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I'd like to do that actually.
There you go.
Really,
He's at a
because
loss for words.
I know. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
But honestly, you have that passion for music, and that's why, as Stefano was saying, when you're doing something, you have that passion behind it.
Yeah.
There is no way.
You don't work
no
a day in your
how
life when you enjoy
that
it.
it's
I find.
absorbed. It's in your skin. It's
Yeah.
in your soul.
I can't. Well, I can't imagine, and I wouldn't like it working at something that I didn't enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've done it, and it sucks.
It's not.
It sucks.
But not very
But
many
people-
have that opportunity.
No.
But you worked hard for it.
I worked very hard for it.
Absolutely.
And again, I would say to anybody wanting to get into theater, be it musical, drama, whatever, train.
Oh, yes.
Just train. And if you're not sure if you really write for it, get involved with an amateur group
Yes.
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
how that goes. And then from there, train.
Yeah.
And there are some terrific schools. You've got some here in Montreal. You've got New York.
New York is they have
New
so many
York.
schools
You've
in New
got,
York.
and you've got, you've got England. There's just so many of them that you can go out to.
Yeah. My daughter's actually in film right now. She's at Trebas and she's learning how to be a director. She doesn't want to be in front of the camera. She would like to be behind. And for her as well, it just manifested itself from drawing to
Yeah.
I want to create something. And she loves it.
Yeah.
And you have to embrace it. And I
Yeah.
think there's so many that want to embrace it, but they just don't understand how.
Well, they don't know what the first step is.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
You know, we can all say, I want to act. Everybody wants to act. Well, what's involved in acting? When you say the voice coaching, the posture, all these classes that you have to take. Oh, well, I didn't know that. And then the cost behind them all.
Yeah.
You sort of say, ooh.
And you have to, and the other thing is you have to get yourself an agent, a
agent.
manager. Mine is Noble Talent.
It's true.
Noble
I've read
talent.
that. Yes.
Is there a role that you ever said, like, if there was, again, it's always one of these, if there was one you had to pick, and there is not one, but is there one that hits you, like when you see an actor playing it, the way they've played it,
You know,
you say, wow.
any of Williams, Tennessee Williams works. He wrote for women. Any of his works I'd love to do.
Yeah. Those are very profound,
Yeah.
Tennessee Williams.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, yeah.
profound.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite actor or actress?
Well, there's a lot of them that I really like. I'm kind of fond of Alison Janney. Alison Janney was at RADA.
Very
When I
good.
was-
She's
yeah.
very good.
Yeah, Alison Janney. Did you ever see her doing Mom? She's a very good comedian.
Yes,
Yeah,
she is one of those dry
Yeah.
wits. She
Yeah.
just speaks it, and it's incredibly funny.
Actors, there's so many that I really enjoy. I love Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he's
But look, there's so many that I like different ones for different things. I can't.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I mean I've been listening to you on CJAD for years. I love the radio station. I feel like I know it.
We know her, right? We
right?
know you.
And we had Dan Laxer on actually this show
Not
as
too
well.
long ago, yeah.
Well, it's been a while, but
Do you want to hear something? I'm going to interrupt you. Something
Sure.
funny.
Yeah.
One of the tours I did was out west, and I'm making a very long story short. We were we in Vancouver? Anyway, we were stopped. A bus was supposed to pick us up. The bus wasn't there. I had something like 40 people with me, so I call up my contact, and they said, well, no, the bus was canceled about a month ago, and the people hadn't given me the new number for the new bus. So I spoke to these people and I said, well, look, I've got a big problem here. And the person said, well, just a minute, somebody wants to speak to you. This is a dispatcher for a bus.
okay.
And this man gets on and said, are you Sharman Yarnell? I said, yes. He said, I recognized your voice. I used to listen to you on CJ. Anything you want, we'll get the bus there.
That's great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. None that doesn't happen to me when I'm missing a ride.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody cares who I
But
am.
half of Montreal, I would say, at least half.
More than half.
You know,
Oh, more
it's
than half.
household names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we get, as listeners, you get to know the who's doing the weather, or who's doing weather today. Who's doing the sports. Are they going to
Traffic,
call?
yeah.
Are they going to go to the TSN
It
side
was
to
funny.
the sports?
It was funny when I was doing radio. Everybody knew I was very involved with the Irish community. My mother was born and brought up in Ireland in Banlisloe in Galway, and people knew that, and they knew I was involved with the Irish community. And I met somebody once, and she said, "Oh, I pictured you with red hair." I said, "No, never had. I've got red in my hair in the sunshine, but it's dark."
My
People
God.
get things in their minds that, yeah.
Yeah, of course,
Have an
because you
image,
hear
right.
the voice, right? And now, do you still have a schedule? Like, are you still on CJD?
No, I'm not.
No.
I haven't. I was just trying to think. I think 2013 is when I left.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It seems like I just heard you on the radio
I know.
yesterday.
I know.
Well, they might. I hope they're still not using my commercials. 'Cause I hope not. No, I used to.
Those checks didn't come in the mail.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I used to do the trivia show with Dave Fisher,
Oh,
who
yeah.
has since passed away.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember.
Yeah.
There was a special, a whole day affair.
Yeah.
On the radio. And
Yeah.
stuff. Do you remember the Bell? Did Bell Let's Talk Day start?
It's a good thing it didn't. I've been very outspoken about Bell Let's Talk, a very, very serious and important issue. But, oh God, the company has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people working there.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of companies do. I'm sure Bell is not the only one. But then to turn around and put Let's Talk about problems when they create them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
used
gotcha, yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I have an interesting question. I think is interesting. What is a fun and unique fact about you? Something that nobody knows that you know.
Well, if nobody knows it, I
it's
don't
not
know.
gonna-
What's
No,
it
we'd
to
like
it?
for you to
Definitely.
share it. We'd like for you to share
Like a
it.
quirky fact?
Yeah,
Like a...
anything. A fun or unique.
They say, you know what? I can't think of one now, but at 2:00 in the morning, I'm
Yeah,
thinking, oh
exactly.
my
You're
God,
gonna
I
be
should
like-
have told them that.
as you're getting your snack or something. I get up at 2 a.m. to get a snack every night. Maybe that, I don't know.
I got up the other night at 3 in the morning, and I cooked 2 boiled eggs.
Really?
Real.
Is that quirky enough?
That is
quirky.
amazing.
Yes, that is quirky.
That is amazing.
It's
I
true.
love that.
That's an idea because at midnight I'm usually hungry. You just
Yeah.
gave me an idea. Start boiling eggs.
Oh, I do.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
Why?
It's just, then I wasn't. It's wrong.
It just
you
created-
sleep during the night.
So, being as successful as you are, and the many careers that you've had and have, what is the most challenging part of your journey?
The challenging part is sometimes they overlap and it's difficult.
Okay.
But thank God now for we're doing most of our auditions by video,
Yeah.
which is great. So that's been a boon. That's been really great. And also last year I overworked. I did I just took far too many assignments on, and I was exhausted. So I have to learn. You know what my biggest I have to learn to say I'm afraid I can't. No, not this time. And that's what I have to learn.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
To a degree,
Yeah.
Yeah, to a degree.
But yes, when
Yeah.
you enjoy it, you want to say yes to
Yeah.
everything. And
I couldn't turn down a trip to Venice, though.
Oh!
I had to,
Absolutely not. Venice is Venice.
Who would do
Venice
that?
is
No,
Venice,
nobody
yeah.
would turn down Venice.
Savannah, you're Italian.
I am.
Do you ever?
Supposedly, so
Yeah,
Okay, do you ever get back? Do you go there?
Yes, I went back
Where?
in 2018.
And where do you go?
Well, we went down south. So we did Rome for 3 days, and then we went to Campobasso. So I was on the Termoli side.
Yeah.
And that's where my dad was from.
Sorry about
He
that.
chimed it in. Don't get excited, Stef.
The best thing, I mean, I love Rome, but the best thing about Italy, and I think, and France, anywhere, are the little villages.
Absolutely.
the
Where you
best.
really
Down
meet
south.
the people.
It's the
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
I rather enjoy the south. Not only because my family is from the south. My mother is Calabrese from
Yeah.
Calabria, and my
Yeah.
father is Campobasso from Portocanone. It's a different life. They're very relaxed and very friendly and welcoming.
And not necessarily so in Rome is so very
Oh my
different.
God, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
My father's from Rome.
changed.
Is
It's
he?
My dad
changed.
is from Rome. I've been back many times.
Yeah.
But he's half an hour away from Rome in some
Yeah,
mountain, Prosedi is like
yeah.
the smallest little
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, Italy is all about those small little.
Yeah.
And it's like
authentic.
France. It's like,
Yeah.
Paris is nice for a few days. I love Paris, actually.
Yeah.
but when you go to places like Ireland and Ez and the little villages,
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
Siena in Italy.
I
Oh my
was
God, it's
there.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
My
Gorgeous.
mom's hometown is, of course, in a mountain, but it revolves around the natural spring that water that comes out naturally,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it feeds all of Naples and
Oh, wow.
that whole region, right?
Wow.
And everyone who lives in that it's all my mom's family.
Yeah,
but they all have a different job. They all
Yeah.
and it's like not even a job. Like they all take care of it, kind of like. It is a job, and one of my cousins is the official, but like his dad will go and make sure that no kids are playing around there to protect it, and like there's
Yeah.
a gate,
Yeah.
it's really cool like that. This is the how do you call it? The city is based around this city. That little town is based on the spring, and they hang out there where the water's just coming out just to take
Isn't
in
that
the noise.
lovely?
They go read a book, and the
It's
water's
just simple.
it's really cool. It's
It was one of the neat things about Rome in particular, where you can walk around. They have water spots where you can get fresh water.
absolutely,
like
yeah,
fountains, you can
and
get
it's
the
the
water.
best water I've
Yeah.
ever had. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Besides
Yeah.
the coffee, but anyway.
Yes, and coffee, we learned a couple of podcasts ago that they don't know the word espresso. It's cafe. So if you want an espresso, they look at you very
It's your-
strangely.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
what
know.
are you
Well,
asking?
we North Americans, we make up strange things. We make
True.
up.
Yes.
I mean, somebody was talking about making a Yorkshire pudding the other day now.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the way you make Yorkshire pudding is the oven has got to be hot, really hot,
Yeah.
with beef drippings. Now, I can't make it because I'm a vegetarian, but my mom used to make it. And I was hearing this young American person saying, well, I use, what does she use? She heats up vegetable oil. And I thought, oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
But we make all these things based on the originals, and they're not the same.
Yeah, we tweak it and we say, oh, now it's this. Well, we don't have, in Italy, we don't have Alfredo sauce.
That's right.
Okay, that's Americanized,
Yep.
and it's very heavy
Yep.
and creamy and whatnot. It's not a dish, although it's very tasty. It's not a
It's
dish.
not an Italian dish.
No, we have carbonara.
Yeah.
I love making carbonara. My daughter loves, and my husband loves. My husband was born in Italy. He came here.
Yeah.
He was in Larino. He was born in Larino.
Yeah.
So we had gone in 2018 to visit the family. But that's what it is, I find. And one thing that impacted me, especially when you travel, you become inspired.
Oh, and if you don't, you shouldn't be traveling.
Exactly.
And you just watch Rick Steves on TV or something.
I love Rick Steves.
I prefer Chris Robinson.
I know. You know what? All these travel shows,
Yeah.
even the PBS Masterpiece, when they show you, they just have instrumental music and all you're seeing is landscapes.
Yeah.
I'll just watch that for hours.
Yeah.
Some people get bored, but I find it enthralling.
When I was in Italy last year, it was very strange because I got we were in Rome.
Yes.
And we were at the Trevi Fountain, and I thought, that doesn't look like the right color. I think it was an environmental group got in and dyed the water black
Oh my goodness.
while we were there.
I heard
And then
about
I get
that.
to Venice,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at the water, and I thought, well, that doesn't look like the right color. It was Kelly green. And there was apparently something growing underneath.
Maybe
They had to get it
an
an algae or something, but it was Kelly green. It was incredible. Yeah.
Well, the whole beauty of the Mediterranean is the blue.
Blue.
It's
Yeah.
not a navy. It's sort of a royal.
No, it's a beautiful blue.
Yeah, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And that stuck with me. Okay, I went in 2018. Before that, I had gone, I was 18. So that's maybe
3 years
15 years
before.
ago. 15 years ago. I was 18. Don't say a word,
I
Manny.
didn't say anything.
Don't say a
I
word.
did not say that.
No, it's good. You'll live longer. So, and excuse me, I was laughing. Sorry.
You see, that's because you spoke to me. Payback.
Your turn's good. I think from that moment, it was forever etched here. And every time I go back, that's what stands.
That's what stands
The
in your
blue.
mind. Yeah.
The down south, the beach.
If you want to see some blue, go. We live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world. You go out to a moraine lake in Banff.
Banff,
and
yeah.
the colors of the lakes out
been
there
there, yeah.
are absolutely incredible.
I heard
It's
that.
very commercial now, Banff is, but when
Yeah.
you get on the road and travel around a little bit to the lakes, we have a wonderful country. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful country.
I was in
We're
Banff
very lucky.
last summer. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
can
It
imagine.
is.
One more question before we get to our game. I'm not going to cough again because I'm excited. What is this one moment of triumph that you had that you can say has significantly stood out for you throughout your career?
Well, I think I'd have to say there, I started off not wanting to do one thing, and I've succeeded. You know, I've done voice work, I've done radio, traveling, I've done theater, I've done film work. And I love that, my Heritage Minute. I'm so proud of that. And it's
It's
quite
true.
old. I just love it. It's just, you know, that to me, I have succeeded in doing what I originally wanted to do.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Do you feel there's something left, like that you would love to say? Maybe I can add that to my ever-growing list.
Okay,
Dun, dun, dun,
that's
dun.
the call.
Do you need it?
That's it. No, it's okay.
Okay,
That's
okay.
fine. I'll call them
That's
back.
very inspirational. It was just the most
That's the
perfectly timed.
What was the question now?
Yes. Is there something that you feel you would love to still conquer? Let's say.
Yeah, I'd love to get back to painting. Watercolors.
Nice.
Yeah. I have done some of that, but I've never thrown myself into it, and I would like to get back in doing my watercolors. I really would. Yeah, and I'd love to do more voice work. I love voice work.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'd like to do voice work. Mind you, it's past my definitely not gonna happen, but it sounds very interesting. Honestly, it sounds very interesting. And on that note, we are going to move into our game.
Yes, this game is called Rapid Response.
Yes.
And so basically, we're going to ask you a question, name 3 something, and whatever comes to mind quickly. So let's. Do I ask her the first one, or you the first one?
Well, what's the initial in the first?
The unusual places.
No,
Get a tattoo.
What?
where am I going to put a tattoo?
No, okay. I don't know. How about you both answer this? Name 3 unusual places you'd like to get a tattoo.
I would like. How about? I don't want to get a tattoo. I really would not get a tattoo. If I was forced to, I would want a shamrock with a little maple leaf, perhaps behind my ear.
Oh,
nice.
Ear.
Ear.
E-A-R.
Lisa, do you have an answer to that?
An unusual place, I would like a tattoo. Well, unusual. I would say maybe on the side of the nose, let's say. That would be an unusual place.
It would also be disfiguring.
That is correct. See? You get 2 for 1.
All right. So now, who was that? Does it make a difference?
Okay, Sharman can have the next one.
The next one is name 3 fantasies you'd love to live out.
Oh, yes. I would. Okay, well, the first one would be in Switzerland. I would love to run across that field that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, singing the hills. Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Start twirling.
Again, I would love to be in a Broadway musical. I would love to be in a Broadway musical.
Which one?
Oh
boy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh my God. Gypsy.
Oh.
Yeah. Playing Mama.
Oh,
Yeah, Mama
yes, I
Rose.
could see you.
Mama Rose.
I could see you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first musical I ever saw, by the way, in the West End in London. It was with Angela Lansbury, and I've since seen it with Patti LuPone. And there's an example of 2 women, brilliant actresses, 2 totally different takes on Mama Rose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
2
interesting.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the third one?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
the
there's
third
one
one. I think 2 is enough.
That's it. It's true.
Lisa, name 3 things you would do if you could fly.
Oh,
Three things I could do if I would.
Sharman's hitting every country in the
She's
world.
hitting
every country in the world, and I am also hitting a theater stage in a pair of green tights with a little hat on, singing
Peter
"I'm
Pan!"
Flying."
Absolutely. Wow.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll just leave it at that one for me.
Actually, you know what? I would like to fly over Venice to get a bird's eye aerial view of Venice.
You can do that with a drone.
Really?
True.
But I want to fly it, Sharman.
You want to have the hot air
I
balloon?
want to have the hot air.
They have hot air balloons
I haven't seen them over Venice.
No.
You've got to be very careful there now because of a lot of the pollution. Yeah.
Well, this is a funny question. Name 3 unconventional ways to cook an egg.
When you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're half asleep. And I've always thought this is unconventional, but if you've been to New York in the really, really hot days in the
Yes.
past where you could see sizzling off the sidewalk, I've often wondered what it would be like to put the egg on the sidewalk, like right on the sidewalk, and see if it would. I think it would cook.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It would
Absolutely.
cook. And the other thing, of course, is putting it in your on the engine. Is it on the engine of the car, but under the hood? See what would happen there.
Oh, true.
You should get
yeah.
a nice poached
Yeah,
one
that would
there.
Totally work.
Nice poached one.
That's true.
That's true.
I like putting it in a soup.
Putting
Like,
it in a
just
soup,
like
egg in a
like
soup.
hot water. You just run it in and just let it get in the soup.
And it cooks
it's
on
really
its own.
good. It's really
Is
good.
it?
It's
Oh, you've done
stracciatella.
it.
I've done
Okay.
it. It's
Okay.
delicious. Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
it cooks, but it's still a little runny, and it's.
Is the white still runny?
No.
See, this is
no,
it.
no,
That's
no.
what
Well,
I was
actually,
thinking.
Italians we have make stracciatella. It's actually like my mom totally. You kind of beat the egg as it's going into the hot water, and it flakes the white stuff and yellow stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
really good. Try
Okay, but I have to have your
stracciatella.
mom come over. I have to have your mom invite me over for
You
that.
would you would enjoy that.
I'm sure
my
I
mom
would.
Is still she's still making.
No, I'm sure I
Fresh
would.
pasta. I walk into the house at any given time, and it could be either pasta or sausages hanging on poles.
Well, I'm vegetarian.
Anywhere in the house.
I'm vegetarian, so the sausages wouldn't do.
Yeah,
but the
but the
pasta,
Homemade.
yeah, homemade
egg
pasta.
noodles they're drying in every chair.
Oh,
possible.
wow.
They're folded.
They're folded?
They're folded all
Over the
The
chip. Well, you
egg.
know what happened? You know what I do? I go walking in and sit down on them.
So it's a funny story. My parents go. Hawaii is our place. We love to go, and my parents are there now, and they rent an apartment from this guy, and really good friends. We've been friends for years because they've been going for years. And so one time he had something to fix in the apartment, and he's telling me this story. He's American. He's from Hawaii, and he's like, so I call your dad, and they're at the store. And I said, oh, I just have to walk in and fix the door handling. And my dad tells him, go ahead, you can get in. You have the key. Don't worry about it, Okay, he says, so I walk in my apartment that I rent out, and there's noodles hanging all over the place. He's like, who am I renting this? What is going on here? There's noodles hanging outside, inside, in the bathroom. It's every pole possible. Anyway, so yes, food is quite
It's a big
important.
thing to
Yeah,
Italians.
it's a
Yeah.
Oh,
big-
yes.
it's a big
Oh,
thing.
yes.
Lisa, name 3 reasons why you would take your pants off in public?
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Did you write these? Why are you asking yourself this? He should write yours.
I should.
He's not.
And I would not take my pen. Oh, that's not mine. That's Lisa's.
That's hers, yeah.
Why would I? Well, if there's a bee that goes up your
Be just
pants.
very
you're-
gentle with the bee.
Yeah.
You just take off your pants. You're in the
Well,
metro,
if
you
it's
just fucking-
stinging you to high heaven, you wouldn't just try to grab it. You would,
Take your pants off.
fling off your pants. That's it. Just the pants. Nobody said anything about underwear. You just say drink.
All
Like,
right. I
you
think
know.
we move on to the next question.
I think so too. I think it's ending right there.
So we're gonna do this one for both of you to end this game off, and it's a pretty good question. This one: name 3 silly things you would say to confuse a telemarketer.
Oh, I've done that. Oh, I've done that.
We all love that, right?
We all love
Well,
that.
actually, not a telemarketer, but it was somebody called up a hacker.
Oh.
And told me that my computer was, so something was wrong with my computer, blah, 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 blah. And I was on the ball. I said, really? And he said, yes. And, I need this and I need that from you. I said, well, I'll need to go up to my computer for that, won't I? He said, well, yes. So I went in the kitchen and finished making my tea and got some cookies. And I guess about 20 minutes later, I went back to the phone and I picked.
Was he still
Is it
there?
still there?
He was still there. And I said, I said, I'm so sorry, but I forgot to tell you, I don't have a computer.
That's good.
Slam the receiver down on
That's
me.
the best. That's the best. You can't top that. You can't top that at all. At all.
And if you've got somebody who keeps phoning you like telemarketers, pick up the phone and say, good evening, City Morgue.
Yeah, I do that.
I've done
I
that.
did that once. I said, "Hi, super sex."
No. City Morgue, believe me, they'll hang up very quickly.
yeah.
Really, I
Yeah.
can imagine. I can imagine.
I know.
I can
guy
see
who
it.
I know a guy who answered. He used to get frustrated. It's one of my dad's friends. He used to get frustrated at like the religious people that would try to ring the doorbell. He answered the door naked.
Oh, God.
They opened the, oh shit! And they never came back
I bet
again.
they didn't.
The power of Christ comes out.
It's actually my best friend's dad who did this.
Exorcist.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
That's
Lisa,
great.
name a silly way to confuse a telemarketer.
Oh, I pretend I don't speak English or whatever language they call it.
Have you done it?
You
I
can have
have.
fun with them. You really
You
can.
really
Oh,
can.
yeah. Seinfeld started it. Like I remember.
Oh yeah, what did he do?
He-
I saw that. God, I just saw that recently on the phone. They picked him up. Oh God, I can't remember, but
can't
it was
remember
very
what-
funny.
Oh no! I think he answers on the show. He answered
answers
the
the
phone,
phone.
and he said, Oh, you're working right. Something like, how about I call you back?
How about I call you back? And then he says, oh yeah.
How about you give me your home number and I'll call you
back
at home
or
and I could
something
break,
like that.
and I could bother you
Yeah.
when you're at home to
yes,
answer
that's
these
the one.
questions.
That's it. That's right. Oh my God. I don't. But you know what? They do it to earn a living, but it's just they call it the
It's
wrong
sad.
time.
It's sad.
I remember way
about it.
back when they used to call at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, are you out of your minds? So I thank you so much, Sharman, for coming on to
Oh,
the
I've had
show.
fun.
Is there
I've had
somewhere-
fun.
Is there somewhere we can follow you
Yeah.
online?
I'm on
Other than
Facebook.
Curtains
Up, and I'm
for
on
sure.
Facebook. You
Okay.
can follow me on Facebook. I also on Facebook have Ace Yarnell Promotions, Ace being Arts, Culture, and Entertainment.
Oh,
So I put my travels on there and theater stuff.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really
Nice.
That's
Beautiful.
really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hitting you up soon.
And on Instagram, we can find you as well.
I'm on Instagram and I'm on X. I'm on Twitter.
Twitter.
I
Okay,
much prefer
gotcha.
Twitter.
X, yeah.
That's true. X. I
It's
don't
crazy now.
Does
yeah.
it sound silly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it silly? It is.
But why
like,
is it X though?
He changed the name. Elon Musk. bought
Yes,
it
no, I
and
remember,
turned it to
but
X.
the purpose of.
Because it looks cool. It looks cool. on
Well,
the
that's
phone,
to
that
him.
X.
I think it's much nicer seeing a little bird.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
true,
agree.
true.
I agree. Tweeting, not
Yeah.
Xing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
It sounds
Yeah.
really
Whatever.
rash. So thank you so much, Sharman. We had
Thank
such
you.
a blast. to
I
have
did.
you
We-
on.
I loved it.
Yes.
Thank you so
All
much.
stuff and nonsense and fun.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And sharing a little bit about yourself and having fun in the process.
There you go.
And answering really strange questions
And-
Yes, I got.
in a very fun way.
Most of all, honestly, inspiring.
Yes,
Because
Thank you
we
very
like to
much.
see
Absolutely.
Thank you, Stefano.
People that work hard and
Yeah.
succeed at what they do.
Yeah,
and
well,
they
you
do it
know,
well.
We didn't talk about the cover groups that I like, the Hyphens.
Oh, yes,
my
yes,
Hyphens,
yes.
and we and Replay.
All good friends of mine.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
the conversations. The Hyphens is a British rock 60s British rock group that I play in, and I love playing with them. They're fantastic, and you know them well, and you like
I know
what they
them.
do.
That's
and it's
I
amazing.
love what
great.
they do,
Small
and I love
world.
my Replay.
And Replay, Beatles tribute band, a good friend of mine, John.
Yeah.
We actually spoke last week because I did a gig at the casino I work at the casino in Laclemy very often.
Left to me, yeah.
And I think Replay is going to be playing there, so he asked me about the stage and all the stuff.
Well,
so-
it's a phenomenal
It's
group. It
amazing.
really is.
Yeah,
and
they're good. They're really
and I
good.
mean, you hear about these other groups around here. There's a couple of them in Montreal. No one does
Replay
it as
is-
well as Replay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bar none.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. So thank you so much. We hope to have you again in the future.
Well, I would love that.
Yay!
I would love that. There
We
you
would
go.
love it
Thank
too.
you.
We would. That's amazing. Thank you. Wow.
We're all
Thank
very
you.
excited. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next time for Let's Talk It Out, as well as our brother podcast sessions with Stef and our cousin podcast Likumbari.
Yep.
So guys, have a fantastic evening. Thank you so much again,
Thank you.
Sharman, for attending and inspiring us.
Yeah.
Cheers.
basically.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys, and see you next time. Bye.